Versatile Mage. Chapter 17 The Beautiful Female Teacher's Fire Element. Currently, Tang Yu maintained an extremely straight posture as she calmly stood there. Her elegant, curvy physique was outlined by the slightly tight skirt, which was particularly captivating. Perhaps because she was new to teaching, her clothing choice seemed a bit hasty, which only added to her charm and gave the students a feast for their eyes. You have to meditate, be tranquil, and concentrate. Even if I am speaking to you right now, my mind is wholeheartedly focused on the fire element nebula within me. Oh, I mean stardust, Mrs. Tang Yu said. Her voice was transmitted to every student's ears. When everyone thought Mrs. Tang Yu was standing still like a statue, a sudden fluctuation appeared in her pear blossom hair. There was not a single thread of wind in the field, yet her hair looked as though it was steaming, scattering lightly around her. Control. At this moment, you need to call out so your star will obey your commands and open the doors to the fire element magic. Mrs. Tang Yu's tone shifted from its usual softness to a solemn one, carrying a hint of arrogance, as though declaring that everything before her should burn. In that instant, all the boys, whose minds had been filled with impure thoughts, were instantly dumbstruck. They widened their eyes, looking at the beautiful female teacher in shock. Aura. That's right, they felt a scorching aura emanating from Mrs. Tang Yu's body, pressing against their faces. There was shock, reverence, and a certain intimidating presence that wiped away any wicked thoughts. Everyone had initially assumed that the newly arrived Mrs. Tang Yu would be an average teacher, someone who would simply give a messy theory lesson, much like the old man before her. They thought that when it came to personally activating magic, she might even make mistakes in her teaching. However, the young Tang Yu before them seemed to have controlled this power for a very, very long time. She was able to teach while controlling her star, and after completing her magic incantations, the intensity of her flames was on a completely different level compared to the old man's, a mere small flame compared to a towering pillar of fire. Remember, after you've finished arranging the stars, you can't relax your thoughts. You must immediately focus on the position of your activation. Her dignified voice resounded once more. Searing flames. Her voice rang in everyone's minds like a magical bell. At the same time, a dazzling scarlet star path emerged around Mrs. Tang Yu's body before quickly condensing in her jade-like right hand. Following this, a fiery red power rapidly grew in her half-gripped hand. It was incomparably violent. With all her might, she threw her arm forward. The flame shot out like an arrow, glowing with a delicate scarlet hue, and then transformed into a bullet, accurately and unmistakably striking the body of the puppet. Gone. How come nothing happened? It hit the target though. The atmosphere grew silent. The puppet hit by fire burst showed no immediate reaction, but Mrs. Tang Yu's aura remained intense. Within the confusion, she slowly turned to face all 48 students in the class. Her young and tender face carried a confident smile at the corner of her lips. Suddenly, a shocking scarlet burst erupted from within the puppet. This was not a slow ignition. It was a violent explosion, as though a wild beast had been released. In less than 2 seconds, the human-shaped puppet was engulfed by scarlet flames, completely consumed into nothingness. The vivid light reflected off Mrs. Tang Yu's beautiful pear blossom hair. Her fair-skinned face appeared even more captivating at this moment. The confident smile at her lips, paired with the reckless flames behind her, made the already stunning teacher appear unrealistically beautiful. All 48 students were completely starstruck. Mo Fan didn't know how the others felt, but his own heart was pounding, not just because she was beautiful and charming, but because when she wielded the power of flames, she radiated a grandeur and confidence that stirred his blood, filling him with worship, infatuation, and reverence. If a woman is only beautiful, she stirs a man's imagination. But when a woman possesses a power others can't even touch, she becomes like poison, impossible to escape from. Only the heavens knew how many boys had set Mrs. Tang Yu as the goddess for life after witnessing this scene. Even Mo Fan was completely subdued by her temperament. Although both she and the old man were practical magic teachers, his magic activation had been lifeless, almost putting people to sleep. Mrs. Tang Yu's activation engraved itself into people's hearts, leaving them excited and unable to calm down. They were on completely different levels. Alright, who are the fire element students in our class? Let me note them down, Mrs. Tang Yu said casually, seemingly used to the students' worshipful gazes. I'm a fire element user, said a girl with a heroic spirit in her eyes, Zhuman, who had caused some commotion during the opening ceremony. Zhuman's eyes were fixed on Mrs. Tang Yu. Initially, she hadn't liked her. How could a teacher wear such eye-catching clothes and have such a gentle, beautiful voice? However, after witnessing that flame burst, Zhuman's opinion had completely changed. Her heart now held a deep sense of admiration. Zhuman's mother was also a teacher, but she was certain her mother couldn't do what Mrs. Tang Yu had done, whether in aura, intensity, accuracy, or sheer power. I am one too, Mrs. Tang Yu. I'm also a fire element user. My name is Huang Feifeng, said the only male student who had awakened the fire element, jumping up with excitement. Huang Feifeng's joy was obvious. Having a practical magic teacher of the same element was like having a personal master to pass on their skills. He even dreamed that Mrs. Tang Yu might one day appreciate his talent and develop feelings for him, his very own little dragon maiden. Don't block me. I'm going to the roof. Why didn't I awaken the fire element? Why? Wailed Lu Shaoing, a water element student. Teacher, I am also a fire element user. My name is Zhao Danyu. A thin, stuttering boy stood up. His face turned completely red when he met Mrs. Tang Yu's gaze. Mo Fan sighed. This boy was clearly just an average bean sprout. Mrs. Tang Yu chuckled and said, "You're so thin and weak. Why did your family name you Big Cow?" My body is weak. Father and mother wished for me to become sturdy, like a big cow. Then you should be named Zhao Blabbermouth. Zhao Kunsen mocked immediately, making fun of Zhao Danyu's stutter. Are there more? Mrs. Tang Yu's gaze swept the room. There's only 3 fire element users in the whole class. That's too few. Judging by their auras, only Zhuman had slightly better talent, and her cultivation pace wasn't bad. There's also me. My name is Mo Fan, he said, stepping out from the crowd. Chapter end. Please guys like, comment, share, and subscribe.